is, you may have heard, if you've looked in the press recently, and certainly with our Q3 results, Siemens released their new Vision 2020 Plus strategy. And I have to say, if you remember, I talked about inspiration and motivation. And essentially, that's the why. That's the real sense of purpose. And with Vision 2020 Plus, this is what we stand by. We serve society. Our CEO has said, a company without purpose should be questioned. We create value for all stakeholders. That's our shareholders, our employees, the communities in which we reside, all our stakeholders. And finally, we make real what matters. That means essentially when you wake up in the morning, taking public transport, turning on a light switch, flaming up a gas stove, that is something that Siemens provides to society today to make it a better society, and that's what making real matters means. Next is, so I thought I'd share a little bit with you what that means in terms of our organizational structure. We're trying to make ourselves leaner and more focused, and in doing so, we went from 6 divisions, give or take, to now 3 operating companies. So gas and power, I'd say that's self-explanatory, everything to do with power from electrical grids, gas and the likes. Smart infrastructure, that's all smart buildings, smart cities, public transport, as I mentioned. Digital industries, that's where I am right now. It's digital factory, and that's looking into all of the digital industries of the future, which is process and discrete. And of course, we have our strategic companies. We have been, like I said, creating much more focus and partnering where that makes sense. And in these 3 areas that made sense to partner with Siemens Alstom. So that's pending, of course, a partnership for our mobility and transportation division. We have Siemens Gamesa, which occurred already last year, if not a year and a half ago already, time flies, for our renewable business, and that's with Gamesa. And our Healthineers business, which also has been made into its own separate entity and was listed just earlier this year very successfully. So all of our healthcare business is now in the Healthineers strategic company. So that's how we're going to look like actually coming into effect April 1st of next year. So why are you listening in today? Well, hopefully we're here to tell you a little bit about Siemens and say, okay, why is Siemens the employer of choice for you? So I mentioned earlier that I'm from Canada. One of the things that was extremely important to me when I started my career is I wanted a company that would enable me to have an international career. And what this slide shows you is that we offer job opportunities all over the world. And it's in all, like I said, 190 countries, of which I can proudly say I have worked in quite a few during my last 14 years with Siemens. But there you can see, if you look at where people are placed, whether it's the Americas with 76,000 people, in Germany with 118,000 people, or in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, of course, with 113,000 people, and in Asia and Australia with 70,000 people, you can see we're dispersed. So depending upon where it is that life may take you, and in this day and age, our life does take us to many different parts of the world, we are present and we are able to offer you that opportunity. So a little bit in what we stand for, and certainly something that I take really personally as a leader in Siemens today, is we need to be agile. And this organization, just as I mentioned, our reorganization with Siemens, it's about being agile, being adaptable. But at the core of it, it's all about our people. And one of the things that we see changing, obviously, in today's day and age is the skills, the skill requirement, even in finance, from even a decade ago to today, are really changing. And we are always, as a result, as a company, evolving to adapt to that change, but certainly also in our people. You know, how is it that we are going to ensure that we have the right people, the right team? We want the best people, by the way, to be part of our team, to be able to address our customers' challenges in the future. So this is something I want to share with you, because I'm sure if we had the same list from just a decade ago, these top 5 skills, some of them would not be there. These are new. But really complex problem solving. One of the things that I represent here at Siemens, and having a daughter myself who's 11, is I always say science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM. This is all about problem solving. And I really am a huge proponent and advocate of that. And I always say that at the end of the day, whether you're a scientist, whether you're an engineer, or whether you're somebody like me in finance, we are solving problems. And hopefully doing that, like number 2, with real critical, outside of the box, to say number 3, creativity, critical outside of the box thinking. That's what we need now. We do not need, let's say, people who are all doing the same thing and all doing it the same way. We need agile, adaptable, creative, critical thinkers. And at the end of the day, it's about people management. But it's not about people management of the past, which was much more of a task-oriented, you must do this. You know, of course, sometimes that comes into play. But people management of the future is going to go back to the slide before. It's about being adaptable. It's about being agile. It's about working in small teams and then going into, problem-solving mode. It's about being quick. And that, to me, is what people management of the future is. It's about empowering people to be their best selves every single day. And of course, this is not done alone. I don't do it alone. We need together, let's say, to assemble those teams and coordinate with one another in a collaborative and respectful way. I have to say, these top skills in 2020, I certainly see them present, not in 2020, but certainly when we're recruiting now.